Well, praise the Lord, saints. Here we are today, facing a new day with its trials and tests and whatever. But God is with us. He's not left us alone. He's kept His hand upon us. And I want to talk to you a little bit today about not giving in to fear, because every one of us are tempted at times to give in to this thing called fear. But God, in His mercy, as He instructed Paul to write to Timothy in 2 Timothy chapter 1 in verse 7, He said, God has not given us that spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind. Wherefore, whereunto I am appointed a preacher and an apostle and a teacher of the Gentiles. You know, there's one thing to call ourselves a preacher, it's another thing to be appointed by God. I do believe it's a divine calling. So my calling is to encourage people, not to discourage, not to make them feel they can't make it, but to let you know we're going to make it. It's not a matter of not being able to, we will. We'll get through this, and it's tough. It's tough on all of us right now. You know, it's a scary situation, and they got us wondering if we can even walk through your house without catching some kind of a virus. But God's in control. And He said, hold fast, you know, that sound word. And the sound word is, I'm with you always. Lo, you know, I'm not going to leave you. I'm not going to forsake you. As I look at life and it's bumps in the road and there's bumps, you know, and I don't want to beat a dead horse, but most of you know me, and at a very young age with 3 children that still needed to be raised and an adopted one, the Lord called my wife home, and she was only 37 years old. And there I was, but God didn't leave me. He didn't forsake me. He put another lady in our life and raised my children, and to this day, they'll tell you that was Mom. Their biological mother was their mother, but Mom was the one that God replaced with. And you know, God, as He done it for me in my lowest time in my life, He came on the scene and put something in there that became a cherished thing for my family. And all of us loved her to death. And then in the process of time, that one too was sent home to the Lord. But God's merciful. He didn't leave me in all of that. And He's not going to leave us, because our country's in a crisis right now with millions getting laid off this last week. And it looks like there's no end in sight right now. But God's in control. If He can take a meal barrel way back there and just keep the meal in it until the famine was over, God knows how to take care of you and I. So don't be discouraged. Keep your chin up. Look up to Him, because we don't know. Maybe this is it. I don't know. One thing I do know is we can be ready. We can hear Him say, well done, thou good and faithful servant. Or we can hear Him say, depart from me, ye workers of iniquity. And as the pastor brought out in his YouTube to the church on how the wrestling match you're in with life right now, there's a victory in there, and there's an experience that you can cherish. And I can tell you everything I went through in my lifetime, it's been one victory after another victory after another victory. What seemed to be defeat at the time has never been defeat. It's always been victory, victory, victory. And this day is the day God has made. Let us, as a church family and as an individual, rejoice in the God of our salvation and trust in Him, because He careth for you. He cares for me. There's no doubt in my mind, if He knows the numbers of the hair in this white head of mine, He knows about your situation and mine and our fears that we may have. Remember, fear is not of God, because fear is torment. And God, again, has not given us the spirit of fear, but of love and power and of a sound mind. So I encourage you, keep up the good work. Keep having these family devotions that we're hearing about, and that family prayer. Let's keep our families on the right track by saying God is God and He's in control. He's never ceased to be in control, and He sure is not going to quit being in control now. He is the master of the wind. He's the one that can say peace, and there's peace, because He's God, and He's God all by Himself. And I encourage you to get a prayer life during this time that will help you, that will be a strength to you and not a hindrance. Our movement has asked us to have a prayer at 11 o'clock this morning. Let's do our best to cooperate and pray for our nation and our world, that God will intervene and lift this plague that seems to be plaguing us now. God bless you is my prayer, and I trust and pray all is well at your home. You're all in good health and all doing well. Right now, I don't know of an individual anywhere in our area that has this flu. But if you do, our prayers are with you, and God will bring you through it. He's brought us through before. He'll do it again. God bless you is my prayer. Amen.